we're gonna build this bee and we're gonna make a flower. You're gonna need some paper. You can use copy paper or drawing paper that's blank. If you have multicolored paper, maybe some construction paper or old gift wrapping or paper with patterns on it, that's fine too. You might want to have some crayons or markers or colored pencils nearby because sometimes we want to add details onto our collages. And of course, since we're drawing with scissors and glue, you'll need some scissors and a glue stick. I like to draw my shapes before I cut them out. So if you have a pencil or a marker, you can do that too. Or you can just cut your shapes without drawing them. But I'm going to draw them so you can see them a little better. And I've got 2 crayons. You can have these now if you have them nearby, or you can do this part later. And then I've got this big pile of paper. Now, this is paper that I used for another project. I painted on this paper and then let it dry. And now I have a pile I can cut shapes out of anytime I want. Maybe your paper is all one color, or maybe you have white paper and you want to scribble some yellow on it if you want to make your bee body. But guess what? Your bee does not have to be yellow and black like this bee. If you want to make your bee pink and purple or green and brown, you're the artist. You can decide that. So I'm going to get first the piece of paper that I want to make my bee's body out of. And since I have some yellow, I'm going to use this. Okay. The other thing I like to have nearby is some scratch paper like this, because when I glue things, sometimes I don't want it to get on the desk or my table. So you might want to have some of that nearby. Okay, so I've got a bee body. I like to flip my paper over and draw the shape I'm going to cut on the back. That way I don't see it on the front of my collage. And that bee body is kind of an oval. So I'm going to just draw an oval as best I can. Awesome. The other thing I'm going to draw while I've still got this yellow paper is the wings. I'm going to draw one big heart. Do you think it'll fit here? I think so. If you're like me, you have a lot of extra paper where you didn't draw your shapes. The first thing I like to do is clean up my paper a little bit. That helps me. Maybe it will help you. I'm just going to cut around the edges, and I've got this cool shape left over. Something I always do is save all of my pieces of paper because I might need that piece of paper later for something. Plus, it's kind of a cool shape. I'm going to cut a little closer to my shapes. I'll even save that. It's got some yellow and some of the paper that is not painted. That might be cool too. Okay, so now I've got my heart and my oval. Heart, oval, heart, oval, heart, oval. I'm going to start with my heart. Seems like a nice place to start, right? My last piece I'm going to cut for this bee is the stinger part, the big, long triangle. So I'm just going to take my scissors, I'm going to watch my fingers very carefully. Remember, it's okay that I'm going outside my lines. I'm just looking for a triangle, and the lines were there to help me remember what a triangle looks like. So I'm going to use my glue stick, and I've got this scratch piece of paper down so I don't get glue on my table. I checked my glue. I wanted to make sure it wasn't one that was dried up from using it so many times. And let's start with the heart, since that's what our friend asked us about a little bit before. So this heart for wings is going to go behind the bee's body. The bee's body is going to go on top of it. So I can put glue either here and stick the body onto the wings, or I can put glue here and stick the body onto the wings. So I'm going to do my glue on my heart. I'm just going to scribble my glue stick around, and then look, it's sticky. And I'm going to take my bee's body and just put it right on top. I like to use my finger and kind of press it down to make sure it is stuck. Pretty good, right? Now my bee has wings, and I can do the same thing for the stinger. I can either put glue right here and put my bee on top, or I can put glue right here and put my bee on top. Again, I like to do it this way and put my glue right on the stinger. Then I can place it exactly where I want it to go. And we'll just, fun thing with collage too, you can sort of turn things around until you have it in a spot that you like, or maybe having it point kind of up a little might be cool. That looks pretty good. And I just tap, tap, tap with my finger. There we go. So you can see my lines on the back where it helped me decide what to cut, but I can't really see them on the front of my bee. Now I'm going to add my stripes. This way, I like to put the glue on the back of the stripe because then I can put glue exactly where it needs to go. So, glue, 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 glue. And just like we said before, your stripes can go in any pattern or any order that you want. I'm going to put mine going up and down. There's one stripe rectangle, 2 stripe rectangle, and 3 stripe rectangle. Do you see how with my glue stick, sometimes I go over the shape and it gets on this piece of paper? That's why I like to have this extra piece of paper here so I don't glue on my table. And then the last stripe, tap, 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 tap. Sometimes your fingers get a little sticky. You rub them together. Sometimes the glue comes off okay. Now look at this. You might have your stripes be a little bit bigger than the bee's body. There's a little bit of overlap at the top too. And that's okay if you like that. That's cool. But you can also give your stripes a little haircut. I'm going to flip my bee over. And here's one that overlaps just a little bit. And here's another one just a little bit. I'm just going to take my scissors and very carefully cut around that curve of the bee's body. It doesn't have to be too perfect. And then my stripes are curved at the bottom, right along the edge of the bee. This really looks like a bee, huh? Because I think my bee is going to be happy. You can draw a different face on your bee if you want. But let's see, I'm going to take my white crayon. I'm using white because I think it will show up. You might want to use a different color crayon if you have a different color body for your bee. You can decide what looks best on your bee. And I'm just going to color in a little circle. Oh, we didn't have any other circles on this bee. This is a good time to use a circle. That's a little bit hard to see, so I realized that it might be nice to outline that circle so we can be sure we can tell that this bee can see, and then we'll give him a little eyeball. Now I put my eyeball kind of in the bottom, so it looks like he's looking that way. He has to see where he's flying, right? And then let's just give him a smile or whatever expression you want your bee to have. And there's my bee. I like to put them on a pencil because then I can use it like a puppet. So if you want to do that later, or maybe if you have a pencil nearby, you can just tape it. Oops, let me do it this way. You just taped a pencil to this bee. Nice job on your bees. So should we add a flower for our bee? We can't have a bee without flowers. And flowers are really fun to make because you can use any color or any type of paper that you have. So I'm going to go back to my pile of paper. I'm going to choose a blue piece of paper. I'm going to make my circle for the middle of the flower. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to flip it over because then I can draw the shape I want to cut. You can skip this step if you want to just cut a circle, but I like a little reminder. The other thing you can do, if you have things in your house that can become stencils, if you want to, this is my water bottle, trace around something that's a circle, that's a good way to make a circle. Or you can just make it a circle as best you can with your hand. There's the middle of my circle. So I am going to go ahead and cut this circle first before we do the petals. If you want to do a curved one, I take my scissors near the edge of one of the short sides, and I just carefully curve all the way to the middle at the top. And then sometimes I flip it around and I start at the point and I go curve, all the way to the edge again. Maybe that red was hard to see because there was stuff in the way. We'll do it again on top of the blank space. This time I'm going to flip over my circle for the middle. And because I know I want my petals to go all around the edge, I'm just going to put one ring of glue all around the edge. So it's not sticky in the middle, and it is sticky on the edge. So then I can take a petal and just tap, tap, tap right there on the edge. And maybe, I don't know if I have enough for a pattern, but maybe I want to put a different color petal next to each other. And there's one. And then how about this pink one? And I'll just stick him there. Tap, 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 tap. Cool. And then we'll just keep going around. And there is my other flower. Same thing. I could find a pencil and glue my flower to my pencil, or since I used thin paper, I might later want to glue it to a thicker piece of paper and then cut all around it. And then what I have when I'm all finished is a bee and the flower for him or her. These are the ones that are a little thicker from earlier. Bee, flower, bee, flower. And you just made a bee and a flower.
Now, if you like that video, make sure you hit the like button to help us grow the YouTube channel, and hit the subscribe button to make sure that you get notified for future videos. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.